week's creature feature is about African spur-thighed tortoise. Now, of course, African spur-thighed tortoise, what a funny name. But you see, in Africa, these guys have a defense mechanism, and they're also called an African desert tortoise. Even though it gets really hot in Africa, they have protection. It's also a good way to find out their home. So I know right about now you're making a comment about me tapping on his shell, but he is very used to being tapped on by all his buddies. When we feed him, they all run together and you hear clink, clink, clink. So only thing is, he's probably wondering where his lettuce is right about now. So African spur-thighed tortoises can live up to a couple 100 years old. They live in a very harsh environment where it won't rain for months and months. The funny part about a tortoise that a lot of people don't know, if you soak a tortoise, they'll immediately flush themselves of the water they have to obtain more new water, which is kind of a unique mechanism about them. They can get all their water exclusively. Oh, look at this. We have a surprise. This is what they look like when they start. This is actually the first traveling reptile show right here, by the way. These are baby African spur-thighs. Now what they do is they bury deep down, and when they bury their eggs, they'll dig, this is a boy, but they'll dig a deep hole, deposit the eggs, and then these little guys, when they hatch, will dig out on their own. They're left all by themselves to fend for themselves. So of course the cool part is Mother Nature set it up for them to hatch in the spring so that they have lots of moist green grass to eat, so they get a little bit of a head start. The amazing part about these guys, if they have a really good year of food supply, they can get up to maybe 5 to 7 pounds in the first year. Now this boy here is about probably about 140 pounder, 120. He'll make you tired and breathe hard after you carry him for a minute. You can ask the person who brought him to me. You see this is actually the front legs. On the thighs even have some spurs, but the ones that they're really named for are these ones right here on the back. They're literally spikes, and those spikes, if this guy gets a big lion to attack it, and it flips him over, all he has to do is pull those legs in, and he has armor, steel, to protect themselves. A lot of people keep these as pets, and they can live outside in in moderate weather, because where they come from, Africa, it's a desert environment, so they have cold and hot, and they'll actually burrow in the ground pretty deep if you don't give them a warm, heated house. But if you give them a nice little heated house, they'll go inside, stay in there for most of the winter. They're kept across the United States. They breed well in captivity, but they do get big. So I just don't go running out buying one of these cute little guys and thinking somehow that he's going to stay small. But here's another thing. Under 4 inches, you're not allowed to sell them in the United States unless they're for educational purposes or for hobbies. But they sure are cute. So this is this week's creature feature. If you have any questions about an African spur-thighed tortoise, let us know. They lay a lot of eggs. They can lay up to 5, 6 clutches of eggs a year, up 20, 30 eggs at a time. Pretty amazing animal.